up, y'all? It's me, Erica, and we are down here. Peace, y'all. Take care of each other. Protect your energy.
What's up, everybody? We are down here, honey. Listen, I need to clean my glasses, but I was like, I need to start because I'm already 7 minutes past the time that I normally start. So I wanted to get started. So I was like, thinking like, okay, still have some stuff to do, but I'll just turn the mic on and the camera on so we can get started. So first thing I saw this morning, well, one of the first things I saw this morning was Mariah Carey and Kim Kardashian's daughters on TikTok, making a TikTok with their mothers. Yes, I saw that this morning. I thought to myself, it's going to be a lot of confused people running around here. And people who have such a deep disdain for Kim Kardashian collaborating with one of their faves, Mariah Carey. Kind of like, are y'all gonna do her like you did Chris Brown? That was funny. Are you gonna cancel Mariah Carey because she's hanging out with Kim Kardashian? And that's what I said on Twitter. That's why you can't get outraged and upset and be so tethered to somebody else's actions that you're always going to be upset and mad and something. You know what I'm saying? You can't be outraged at everything. Another thing that I saw this morning or last night was Giselle and Robin and this thing that's going on with Slim Shady, Marshall Mathers, Eminem. And I said they could go ahead and change the name and rebrand to Perpetually Lying. I can do that. Trademarks are there for a reason. Oh boy, everything that he does has the word shade in it. He has like a serious channel, Shade 45. His record label is called Shady Aftermath. Well, that's the imprint. If he trademarked the name Shady, if it were the other way around, you would say he should be giving it up, this and that. If it were the other way around, you would have a different perspective. So why do you have a different perspective? Why? Because you know what's right, right? You know what's right. So Reasonably Shady. Did they come up with that name or did somebody give it to them? Like the Green Eyed Bandits, somebody else gave it to them. Somebody was talking about they need to go trademark Green Eyed Bandits. Monique needs to trademark Green Eyed Bandits. That's what she needs to do. If she had any damn sense, but whatever, because they will definitely take that name. That's what they should have been called. That's what their podcast should have been called. Alex Rogers, shout out to Alex Rogers. He calls it Reasonably Boring. Change it to that. Somebody's like, oh, we don't even want to hear from Giselle and Robin. Just go ahead and like the fact that I've always thought it was rich that they received a podcast for not sure what, because they don't even, I don't know. I mean, I guess anybody can make a podcast. So let me just shut the fuck up with that, because anybody can make a podcast. Anybody, literally anybody. But the access that they were given to the podcast network through Charlemagne the God for not sure what reason, because a lot, I mean, y'all could tell me I don't listen to Reasonably Shady. Y'all let me know what y'all think about it. But if he's fighting the trademark, saying that he owns the word or is trademarked Shady, and it could be confusing if they put it on merchandise, and he has the word Shady for merchandise, then and trademarked it how many years ago? 1999, like before all of this shit, before podcasts, before social media, before all of this shit. And he trademarked it. So I don't know. if it's legit, maybe a judge will say, yeah, can't use it anymore. Not on your merchandise, because that's what it's for. Merchandise, hats, t-shirts. So if you're putting the word reasonably shady, and reasonably is like in cursive, but shady is super big, and he's trademarked it and if he's fighting the trademark. So I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say. I saw some people in the comments. This white man, he went and trademarked the word, and he went and trademarked a word, and that word is used by, a whole culture. Somebody should have trademarked it. Dapper Dan be trying to tell y'all. When I tell y'all, Dapper Dan be trying to tell y'all. Y'all spend so much time running around trying to get people not to appropriate your culture, not to take your culture globally, and y'all not sitting on any trademarks or anything like that. Nothing. Y'all not owning nothing of your culture. And then you get mad when somebody's like, ooh, let me go trademark Shady. Let me go trademark It's Giving. Didn't who tried to trademark It's Giving? I think somebody did. But if that belongs to the culture, it's so crazy, because I feel like if a phrase or something belongs to a certain culture and someone from the culture goes to trademark it, everybody should be fine, because somebody from the culture is going to make money off of it, instead of waiting for somebody else to do it and then being mad at them and down with picket signs and shit. You should have went and did it. And for me, in my opinion, if he trademarked something back in 1999, how many years ago? 20 some years ago? 23? 24 years ago? Before all of this shit. Before all of this shit. I'm sorry. And especially the way that reasonably shady is stylized. When you look at it, what is the word that stands out? Let's see. Reasonably. How do you spell reasonably? Wait. Reasonably. Here, reasonably shady. Eminem files opposition to Giselle Bryant's reasonably shady not party. Name. Let's see. I need to see how it's stylized. Shady is small, reasonably is big. So reasonably is big and shady is stylized. So like cursive. They have merchandise, reasonably shady. I don't know. I think it looks different. Now what I heard a lot of people say, ain't nobody thinking about Eminem and Giselle Bryant. No, but when people see Shady, his fans think about him. His fans, his loyal fan base thinks about him. So if somebody is like, oh, the reason to be shady, oh, that must be something Eminem got going on. Let me buy this. And then they walking down the street and be like, you listen to Giselle Bryant and Robin Dixon's podcast? Not that anybody would ask him, but he'd be like, who the hell is that? I bought this because of Eminem. I'm just saying. We'll see what the judge says, child. What do y'all think? That white man is down there getting trademarks. Y'all spend too much time. Get the trademarks for your culture. It's giving. It's shady. It's all the things that we all say. Somebody needs to trademark those things. If it's somebody from the culture, you gonna get the trademark for it. So somebody's using it, you can be like, So that's up to you. Dapper Dan says it. Y'all so busy trying to keep shit. You have to realize things. Let me shut up. I'm done talking about Dapper Dan. Y'all can hear what Dapper Dan has to say. Stephanie Mills says Diana Ross is the epitome of beauty in class, while Beyonce is hip hop. You can't compare Beyonce to Diana Ross. Well, generationally, no. There is no comparison. There was a generation. Diana Ross was specific for a generation and has last over time. Beyonce is specific for a generation and will hopefully last over time. I don't doubt that Beyonce is not going to last over time. In Stephanie Mill's eyes, the epitome of beauty, class, and all this other stuff, that is for her time. It's literally a generational thing. You're comparing two women from two generations. There's no comparison. There's no comparison. A lot of what Beyonce did is because of Diana Ross and Tina Turner and all of those women before her. So I don't feel like that's a fair comparison, but for her time, Beyonce in her time, someone might look 40 years later and be like, Beyonce was the epitome of, you know, beauty and class. And whatever the new girl is out who's a phenomenon is going to be, they're going to be like, what? That's the millennials and the Gen Z talking shit. That's all they do. They old ass millennials and them old ass Gen Z. They don't know what the fuck they talking about. Watch. Because there was somebody in the comments talking about Gen Z and boomers and Gen X. I was like, Gen X don't have shit to do with Diana Ross. Not even old Gen X. Now maybe the silent generation and the boomers, yes, Diana Ross was their girl. Like that is like their girl. Because Gen X was too young. Somebody else said, somebody was saying something about Gen X the other day. I was like, it's so funny because Gen X is typically like, people don't pay attention to Gen X, like, and it really goes to the way that the generation was raised and not really paid attention to latchkey kids, raising them they damn selves, playing outside all hours of the day, no internet, nothing like that. So it's a whole different thing, but then also growing up with the internet and all this other stuff. But so you have like the best of both worlds, but you're literally in conversations forgotten about. Like it'd be like, what happened to Gen X? Y'all miss Gen X? Sometimes you'll see things like on the news and they'll be talking about the generations and they'll go from boomers to millennials. And you'll be like, what the fuck? What the fuck happened to Gen X? What the fuck happened to Gen X? Somebody said something about Gen X. Watergate. They were like, what is like a major thing for each generation? And somebody put Gen X Watergate. And I was like, half of Gen X wasn't even born when Watergate went down. See, that's how they don't know. They don't know. And it just, to me, just goes into like, y'all don't really know Gen X. Y'all be thinking y'all know Gen X. And I love to hear people like, I'm Gen X. A lot of people don't know that. I feel like I'm a Zennial. But then when I look at the numbers, I'm like Gen X. But I don't have a lot of Gen X who have been like tainted by boomer type of ideologies. Sorry, no, it's no offense, but it's true that they have a lot of weird ideologies. And when your parents are boomers and they have those weird ideologies and your brain is like, this doesn't make sense to me. None of y'all make sense. This is crazy. I'm not standing in no kitchen with the women while the men sit around. I'm not doing none of that shit, because a lot of that, all that traditional kind of stuff, that comes from them. So like older Gen X, they've been tainted with that kind of boomer mentality. Even the way they raised their kids was a little off too, it's a little off, because they still have the remnants of their parents, influence. But for Gen X, I feel like I'm a Zennial. Like I feel like I have a lot of millennial ideologies. But Gen X, I am so happy that I was born at the time that I was born, specifically in the terms of music. I feel like I was just born at the right time for music, because I just have such a, from this way and this way, just like, this great music and a love and appreciation for all of this music, because I just was born at the right time. I just feel like I was born at the right time. I really do. All right, so let's see. What was I saying about Gen X? What was we saying? I forgot. Anyway, so let me see what I have saved here.
I sponsor the blog. Let me tell you something.
Bitch, when I saw this, I had to save it. I was hollering. This was a few days ago. It says Man pretends to be gay to avoid arranged marriage. His parents create a list of men to date. Like, we got you. Don't worry about it. A man revealed on, maybe it was Reddit. Yeah, it was Reddit. Y'all had spelled Reddi, just Reddi, no T. Okay. A man revealed on Reddit that he pretended to be gay to avoid an arranged marriage set up by his parents, but his parents had other plans once learning of the fake news. Our marriage avoidant, a Reddit user described himself as a 26-year-old Indian American male and posted the situation in the Today Dear Reddit, I fucked up subreddit. He claimed his parents pressured him to marry because he was getting older and needed to settle down so they could have grandchildren. However, he claimed to be non-confrontational and lied about being gay, hoping they would no longer press him to marry. After making the phony confession, his parents left him alone until they began compiling a list of men who would be ideal for him. He also made it clear that at the beginning of the post that he was slightly bi and attracted to women and femboys. This is until last weekend. I visited them as usual, and I was greeted by my mom, who was more excited than usual. She set me down and pulled out a binder with a bunch of pictures of guys. Apparently, my parents had spent the last month or so looking for any and all gay Hindu men who I could potentially marry. Who I could potentially marry. So now I guess I'm dealing with the exact same shit, but instead of being greeted with pictures of cute Indian girls, I get a pictures of gay Indian dudes instead. F my life. That was so funny to me. That's what your ass get. You thought she was gonna be like, listen, I like dick. And so they were like, we still want grandkids. What's that mean? What does that mean? What does that mean that you like men? What does that mean to me wanting grandkids? I don't have shit to do with me wanting grandkids. Y'all gonna get together and we gonna adopt. We gonna find a surrogate or something. But somebody's gonna have a baby. We gonna have some grandkids. Ooh, that tickled me when I read that, baby. That really tickled me. So what y'all think about that? That was funny to me. That's what you get. That's what your ass get. Our marriage avoidance. All right, let's see what's on the Jasmine brand. Let's go to the Jasmine brand. I always like to go to the girls first. Jasmine. That was so funny to me. Let's see. Oh, Jess Hilarious claims Master P owes her over $10,000. Soon as you give me my check, we'll be good. What happened? Oh, he wanted to make a film and later dropped the project. The comedian claims that the executive owes her money after failing to pay her the entire $15,000 for a skit. Give the girl her money. Give her her money, honey. Don Lemon steps down as the host for upcoming Black History event amid criticism for sexist remark. Oh my God. He did not make a sexist remark. Well, the remark was sexist, but I don't think that was I really don't think that was his intention, honestly. I think he was just having conversation, and I guess you forgot where you were, and also forgot that they've been trying to get your ass out of there for just anything. You say anything, you was out of there. Listen.
I think it's the wrong road to go down. She says people, politicians or something are not in their prime. Nikki Haley.
So a politician said that another politician, they're not in their prime. He was saying that can be used against women because what is the quote unquote prime for women? And then one of the girls was like, well, like, here, I'll let you hear.
40s. I don't necessarily.
Hold on.
I think it's the wrong road to go down. She says people, politicians or something are not in their prime. Nikki Haley isn't in her prime. Sorry. When a woman is considered to be in her prime in her 20s and 30s and maybe 40s.
What are you talking? Wait.
That's not according to me.
Prime for what?
It depends. It's just like prime. If you look it up, it'll say, if you Google when is a woman in her prime, it'll say 20s, 30s, and 40s. I don't necessarily.
40s. So I got another.
I'm not saying I agree with that. So I think she has to be careful about saying that.
I don't agree with that.
What do you mean qualify? Are you talking about prime for like childbearing, or are you talking about?
I don't know.
The facts are, Google it. Everybody at home. When is a woman in her prime? It says 20s, 30s, and 40s. And I'm just saying Nikki Haley should be careful about saying that politicians are not in their prime, and they need to be in their prime when they serve, because she wouldn't be in her prime according to
Google
or whatever it is.
I do not think what he
it's a
said
wrong
was
road to go down.
sexist. I do not think what he said was sexist. In fact, he said, I don't agree with this, but you got to be careful for what you're saying because you can put yourself in a bind by saying somebody has to be in their prime because you as a woman, your prime, according to the thing, is your 20s, 30s, and 40s. Let's see, what is a woman's prime? And then she's like, prime for what? Having a baby? There are different primes because prime for having a baby is younger for prime in their sexual prime. Because a woman in her sexual prime is late 30s, 40s. Okay? Which I think is hilarious that it's hilarious because I always say this, the way that society runs, that's why the women get called cougars because the men are so busy trying to get young women that they're not available for the women in their peer group who are at their sexual prime who want to screw. They so busy trying to manipulate young girls that they're missing out on the sexual prime for women in their peer group that they and then so the women in their peer group now have to go to the younger men who are being told by the younger women, you're so immature, I'm going to get me an old ass man whose dick don't work. Girl, whoo, when I tell you, people be running like Keystone Cops with their heads in circles and running around like crazy. It's really true. So there's a couple of primes for women, in my opinion. But I do not feel like Don Lemon said anything wrong. He just basically said, according to the blogs, a woman being in her prime is blah 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 blah. Nikki Haley said something about people being in their prime for politics, so she better be careful saying that because that counts you out. So then here comes this woman talking about prime for what? Prime for having a baby? He said, I don't know. That's what they say that the prime is for the women. So now he got to step down. That's some dumb shit to me. That is so dumb. Don Lemon absent from CNN Morning Show one day after apologizing for clearly sexist statements about women being past their prime. How the fuck is he going to be on the hook for something he was telling another woman to be careful about saying because you limit yourself saying some dumb shit like that? Girl, when I tell you, if they came to me about anything, if I was an executive, they came to me about anything about Don Lemon, I would say, get the fuck out of my office. He didn't say nothing sexist. He didn't say, he was speaking to Nikki Haley's statement and telling her to be careful. Get out of my office. I'm sorry. Y'all gonna have to do something else to get Don Lemon out of there. Not this. This is dumb. I couldn't do it. The reference I made for a woman's prime this morning was inartful and irrelevant, as colleagues and loved ones have pointed out, and I regret it. Girl, whoever pointed that out to you, they're stupid because I literally, if you listen to what he says, I don't agree with that, but that's what they say your prime is. So a woman saying what your prime is, what prime are you talking about? The girl said, prime to have a baby? He said, I don't know. That's what the Google says. So that's crazy. That's crazy to me. What is a woman's prime? When is a woman's prime? Let's see what Google says. Says Don Lemon said. It says right here. Oh no, we're not. What age is a woman's prime? Okay, let's go down. A woman's prime is between 28 and 45. That's what thehealthyjournal.com says. What are a woman's prime years? Her strongest is between 26 and 37. You got niggas on the internet telling you that a woman's prime ends at 25. And stay away from those pedophiles. And what's the other one for the older? It's like an older child group, but it's not pedophile because pedophile is before puberty, but after. I forgot the name of it. Watch out for them weirdos. But yeah, so it's between 26, 37. Some people say 28 and 45. So its sexual peak is late 30s, early 40s. So there's a lot of different primes. So what are you talking about? A prime for, and even the girl said, what are you talking about? A prime for having a baby? He said, I don't know. That's what she said. How am I being to blame for saying something? What Nikki Haley, is that her name? What she said was sexist. And what I'm saying is, be careful saying sexist shit like that, because you are going to put yourself in a box. I don't understand it. I think it's ridiculous. Whoever made that decision to pull Don Lemon, you are less than smart. And you really are less than smart. It doesn't even make sense. It doesn't even make sense. That's ridiculous to me. It's absolutely ridiculous. Let's read a couple comments. This is for It's Rock. Shout out to Rocks. It was a dumb comment, but all this they're doing to him is excessive. I'm so tired of everyone being sensitive. We're doing too much. This black man during Black History Month, girl, he was literally quoting someone else. Oh my God. What gets me is the people on the podcast who go, I can't believe him. But looking at the clip, what am I missing? What did he say wrong? I don't think it's a punishment that fits the crime. However, his statement wasn't accurate. It wasn't his statement. He was literally saying, be careful, Nikki Haley, by saying what you're saying about a woman being in her prime, because according to what I read, a woman's prime is in her 20s, 30s, and maybe 40s. That's what I've read. So now he's in trouble? Girl, y'all so stupid. Stupid is the word. There's no other word for it. No other word for it. It's stupid. Jermaine Dupri says 106 in Park was created by him.
I went to BET. Is that the camera I'm talking about? I went to Stephen Hill at BET and told him, listen, MTV has a TV show called TRL. Yeah. They let the Backstreet Boys and NSYNC and all these boys come on there, and that's their show. I say, yo, we need this in black music. He said, do you have the artist? I said, yes, I got the artist. He was like, who? I said, his name is Bow Wow, right? He didn't know who Bow Wow was going to be. We put out Bounce With Me, and they created 106 in Park. That's why I named Bow Wow Mr. 106 in Park, because I created the show. I basically told them,
okay, Jermaine Dupri. People are telling their stories. That's why I was telling Claudia the other day. People are sitting around talking about things that have gone on and happened. If that's true, I don't know what he just wants credit for it. I don't know what he wants for it, but just to have a conversation and say, I created this, I came up. He said it the other day, and that's when Bow Wow came out and said, BET gave me, the opportunity and stuff like that, because he wasn't he a host or something like that for a little while? Something Bow Wow was on 106 in Park. But okay, Jermaine Dupri, you came up with the idea for 106 in Park. I don't know what else to say. I don't know what else to say, girl. Let's see what this.
The Green-Eyed Bandits are not in trouble for being shady, but for trying to trademark their podcast, which is called Reasonably Shady. I'm Cheyenne Karen, and this is the Jasmine brand. Okay, so check this out. A copyright attorney...
Okay, we already know that. It says Judge Mathis canceled after 24 seasons, reportedly due to the decline in daytime syndication. It was another, and People's Court. That's what I was going to say. It was another court show that was canceled. So it was People's Court and Judge Mathis after 24 seasons. That's a long time. It premiered back in 1989, the same year Marshall Mathers went and trademarked Shady. I'm just saying. The beloved show premiered back in September 99 and has achieved a number of accolades, and it's in its decades on air. In 2004, the show won an NAACP Image Award for Outstanding News, Talk, and Information Series. Fast forward to 2018, and the series has taken home an Emmy for Outstanding Legal and Courtroom Program, more like it. In this duration, Mathis has reportedly presided over 13,000 cases and maintained being the second longest running court show in continued production with the same host. Additionally, the famed legal professional is reportedly the longest running male Black American to host a TV series and the second longest reigning arbitrator of courtroom TV history. Okay, sources attribute the series cancellation to shrinking advertisement marketplace for syndicated daytime TV. Reportedly, local TV stations are minimizing syndication dollars in the efforts to save money. Oh, bye, Judge Mathis. I guess we'll be just recycling 24 years of clips, finding old clips and laughing at them, calling somebody a crackhead or something. Oh, okay, let's go to the neighborhood talk.
Hating on Chris Brown. They said he didn't like dark-skinned women in this VIP section. That's not true. He had plenty of big butt, dark-skinned women in this section, light-skinned and Caucasian. Come on, man, stop hating.
It's somebody who did Joe Biden at a podium talking about Chris Brown is not a colorist, girl. It's a pattern. It's a pattern. It's a pattern. Because he misstitches out the pattern for one thing. It's like, oh, he's not that anymore. No, the pattern is still here. It still exists. It's a pattern. There was some girls on the internet the other day hollering into their phones talking about Chris didn't let them in the club. And then it came out and said it was the promoters. The promoters got their directions from someone. The promoters were probably going off of the pattern of behavior. I figure he only wants light-skinned women in here, so no darkies. Remember when he said that? I have a video about that from I don't know how many years ago, maybe 4 years ago. He has a pattern of behavior. As a matter of fact, here let's do this. Since everybody only thinks it was Rihanna. Timeline of violence towards women. Controversial singer, this is from The Brag. Controversial singer Chris Brown has been back in the headlines this week. This was in November of 2022. He's back in the headlines, right? A pattern of behavior. When Kelly Rowland came up to accept an award, favorite male R&B on his behalf for the 2022 AMAs on Sunday, boos rang out around the audience. That didn't go well in the Destiny Child's icon, who audibly shushed audience members. Excuse me, chill out, she said. But whole Rowland doubled down on her support for Brown following the AMAs, encouraging haters to give grace and forgiveness to him. It's difficult to ignore Brown's torrid past. The R&B singer has a long history of extreme violence towards women. In fact, over the past 10 years, Chris Brown is averaging more than one abusive incident with women per year. Our social media accounts continue to be ambushed by Chris Brown fans who continue to defend him as a man who just made one mistake, including Justin Bieber more recently. We have compiled a timeline of Chris Brown's history of violence to women so that there can be no uncertainty about his character. February 2009. He violently assaulted Rihanna deliberately and purposefully. As a reminder, please see the police report here. In March of 2011, he smashed a window and stormed off the set of Robin Roberts' interview when she asked him about his battery charge. February 2012, he stole a woman's phone after she took a photo of him. June 2013, he shoved a woman to the ground at a nightclub, leaving torn ligaments in her right knee. September 2015, he had a third-degree assault report filed after a woman was forcibly ejected from his bus after she refused to give up her mobile phone. June 2016, Brown avoided charges after a woman accused him of punching her in the face and taking her phone in a Las Vegas nightclub. May 2016, just a few months later, a female tour manager claimed he threatened her with a brutal physical attack. In June 2017, his former girlfriend, Karrueche Tran, won a 5-year restraining order against Brown. Tran shared threatening text and phone messages from the singer in court. August 2018, he was detained by LAPD following a standoff at his home. A woman had accused the singer of threatening her with a gun after showing up to his home. April 2019, Chris Brown and two accomplices were taken into custody in Paris after a woman filed a report for aggravated RAPE. January 2019, he came out and said the female lead band churches were the type of people I wish would walk in front of a speeding bus. In January 2022, he was hit with a $20 million lawsuit accusing him of drugging and R-ing a woman on a yacht in Florida. Page 6 has reportedly obtained a copy of the lawsuit that allegedly claims as SA happened while Brown and the victim were at a party in Miami in December of 2020 when everybody's supposed to be at home. The lawsuit alleges names of the victim as Jane Doe, who is a professional musician and choreographer. So what were you saying? It wasn't just Rihanna. There's a pattern. So the promoter thinking he only wants darkies, he's only going based on his pattern. Hey, we know we have Chris Brown in the house. No darkies. Only racially ambiguous light-skinned women. That's it. We only going by what our customer has wanted in the past. Y'all, oof. Anything else? Do we have anything else to say about Chris Brown? Okay. He has a pattern of behavior. But everybody comes out. It's just Rihanna when he was 17 years old. How old was he 2 years ago? How old was nigga 2 years ago? Okay. I guess I gotta go. What time is it? Yeah, I gotta go. Take care of each other. Protect your energy. See you in the comments. Let me know what you think about the stories we discussed. Don't forget to like the video and don't forget to subscribe. Peace.